to share with you a shoulder workout. I'm trying to grow my shoulders, so I train them a couple of times a week. But today's workout, we are going to train them 4 different ways. 1 on the resistance bands, 2 on cables, lightweight, 3 dumbbells and barbells, heavy, and 4 at the end, burnouts on the machine for a little time under tension. I promise you, if you do this shoulder workout, you will not want to or even be able to train shoulders for 4 or 5 days. So let's go get it. Let's get this workout started. We're going to use resistance bands throughout the beginning portion of this workout. It's a great way to get your muscles warmed up, to get them moving, to get blood flow to them. Here, I'm doing front raises. Do not underestimate the resistance band. Supersetting those with cable front and lateral raises. This is all just kind of one movement here. You're going to do a front raise, let your arms go to the side, drop them down, then to a lateral raise, back and front, drop them down. All of that is one. And the idea is to try to get to 10. So I use lighter weight because after a minute, these puppies start to add up. All right, back to the resistance band, doing lateral raises here. Just put your foot down on a part of the resistance band and start your lateral raises. I'm doing 8 to 10 per arm because these are very hard for me for some reason. And yes, I'm blowing bubbles because that's just what I do. It helps me focus. Supersetting with cable lateral raises. Today, I'm going in front of my body with the lateral raises. Sometimes I go behind my back. We're doing 8 to 10 per arm with lighter weight because for some reason, lateral raises, no matter what I'm using, whether I'm using the cables, resistance band, dumbbells, are very difficult for me. It's very important that you are using all shoulders here. Try not to put your body into it. You really want to work shoulders. Back to the resistance band. I switched it out for a heavier resistance because I'm doing upright rows. When you're doing upright rows, you want your elbows to go above your forearms and your hands are directly below your chin. These work your traps as well as your shoulders. And I'm also trying to pop my traps a little bit so these feel amazing. The stretch is really, really good, but they're difficult. Switching back now to the cable machine. We're doing cable front raises. You want to be sure you scoot back towards the cable machine a little bit when you're doing these front raises because if you don't, you'll get a little surprised if you know what I mean. We're doing 10 reps lighter weight. Yep, you guessed it. Back to resistance bands. I traded it out for the smaller one and I looped it around there because I want to do rear delt pulls. Keep your arm straight, your elbow locked out. Your arm goes in front of you and then straight out. On the out, you want to squeeze. This resistance that I have here, I'm holding towards the end of the band, is not that difficult. It's kind of medium level. If you want to increase the difficulty, move your hand in slightly and that will increase the resistance. But I just kind of do it at medium to easy level because I just want to get that stretch and the blood flow to my rear delts. We're setting that with cable upright rows. This is the last cable exercise that we're going to do. Again, lighter weight than normal. And just like we did with the resistance bands, your elbow above your forearms and your hands go slightly under your chin. I do about 10 reps here, kind of light, focusing on the squeeze at the top. One more time with the resistance band. Shoulder presses. I do 7 behind my head and then 7 in front to get my shoulders ready for what's coming up because I'm going to start my heavy dumbbells and barbells. So one more time with a little warm up. Okay, so we're off with the dumbbells. These are Arnold presses. You want to start with your wrists facing you, twist them out and press up. These are a little bit harder to me than traditional shoulder presses for some reason, so I'm going a little bit lighter, but I'm still only doing 10 reps here. Okay, we're moving on to a tricep. So we're going to do 3 exercises back to back to back. These are rear delt flies. You want the dumbbells to go underneath your legs, almost touching, your thumbs in, and then pull back and squeeze. Nice and slow. Focus on the squeeze. Do not go too fast here. From that, you're going to go into a seated lateral raise. These are a lot harder than standing lateral raises. Why? because you can't use momentum. When you're standing and doing lateral raises, you can kind of use a little bit of momentum from your body to help lift the weight. When you're seated, there is no momentum, so it's all shoulders. So I use a little bit lighter weight than I would for standing lateral raises. Once you complete 10 of those, we switch it out for barbells. These, doing it following the 2 exercises you just did, is very, very difficult. Your wrists are going to be facing in, your reverse grip, and you're pressing up. Try to get to 10. Sometimes I fail. Failure is good when it comes to lifting like this, because that means you're using some heavy weight. Try to get to 10. Sometimes I stop at 8, and that's okay too. Moving on to a superset here, we're going to do shoulder presses. I'm going as heavy as I possibly can on my own. The goal is to get to 10. Again, though, sometimes I have to stop at 8. You want to be sure that your elbows stop at about 90 degrees and you just press up. Then without a break, hardly at all, you go straight into seated shrugs. You just kind of lift your shoulders up towards your ears and squeeze. These are not easy to do coming right off of a shoulder press. I promise you. Try it. Let's move on to barbells. I'm going to do 2 sets behind the head of shoulder presses, and then in a minute I'm going to do 2 sets in the front. You want to go as heavy as you can on your own here, with the idea of getting to 10. If you have to quit at 8, that's fine. You're going heavy here. That's the whole purpose. I'm jumping back onto the cables. This is what I'm supersetting the shoulder presses with. Just like we did with the resistance band. Cable rear delt pulls, but the same concept. Elbows locked out, your arms going in front of you, pulling straight out and squeezing on the outs. Lighter weight here, but still just going about 10 to 15 reps. Back to the barbell one more time with front shoulder presses. These are harder for me, so I have to use less weight. Elbows stay at 90 degrees, press up, and be sure you're breathing. I find myself holding my breath a lot. Okay, we're ending the workout with a tri-set on the machines of burnouts, 2 sets of 20 reps on each of the 3 exercises. I'm doing shrugs on my multi-press. I know you're thinking, what? But somebody showed me these a while back, and I really like them because you are only using your traps here and a little bit of your shoulders to lift up. No momentum from the body. So you kind of get a weird look every once in a while, like poor girl doesn't know how to use that machine, but you know what? It doesn't even matter. These feel great. Then go straight over again to do some rear delt flies. Be sure you use lighter weight because you're doing 20 reps. I like to stand up and lean in here. Doing this for me ensures that I'm using all of my rear delts and I'm not engaging my back at all. When I do these seated, like some people do, which is fine, I feel like I'm using more back. So standing and leaning, I'm sure that I use my rear delts more. Lighter weight, 20 reps. We've done some volume with the cables and the... Are you recording this? Because I'm just talking to you. We've done volume with the cables and the resistance bands. We've done strength with the dumbbells and barbells, going heavy. And now we're doing some time under tension. You look really cute with that pink phone, by the way.
Thanks.
You should think about getting a pink phone case.
Probably will.
With an elephant pop socket.
I ain't scared.
All right, time under tension. Let's go. I just rested way too long. Okay, the last exercise in the tri-set is shoulder press. And I'm seated backwards here to put a little more focus again on my rear delts. Obviously, if you can't tell by this workout, I'm trying to work those a little more to shape them a little bit better. Again, lighter weight, 20 reps. You will be feeling this at this point because you've done 2 prior exercises without stopping. So these burn like crazy and feel really, really good. On that last one, I felt like I was lifting 100 pounds. Jeff just did that shoulder workout with me. What did you think, Runyon?
It was good. It's hardcore.
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Shoulders are gone.
We killed our shoulders. Now we're going to sit around and do nothing the rest
Watch
of the
football.
day. Not true. I've got a lot to do, actually. But my shoulders are
Are
gone.
done.